First contact. The Deep Space Monitoring Station at Arecibo, Puerto Rico, had seen better days. Its massive dish, once a pinnacle of human achievement, now stood as a weathered sentinel scanning the cosmos. Dr. Elena Reyes, lead astrophysicist at the facility, stifled a yawn as she pored over the latest data streams. It was another quiet night in humanity's endless search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Until it wasn't. A sharp beat from her console jolted Elena fully awake. Her eyes widened as she took in the readings. "This can't be right," she muttered, fingers flying across the keyboard. The signal was unlike anything she'd ever seen, a complex, repeating pattern that defied natural explanation. "Carlos," she called out to her research assistant, "get in here now." Carlos Martinez rushed into the control room, his usual easygoing demeanor replaced by urgency. "What is it, Dr. Reyes?" "Look at this," Elena said, gesturing to the screen. "Tell me I'm not hallucinating." Carlos leaned in, his brow furrowing as he analyzed the data. "It's structured, definitely not random noise." He looked up, meeting Elena's gaze. "Are we really seeing what I think we're seeing?" Elena nodded slowly, a mix of excitement and trepidation washing over her. "I think we just made first contact." The next 48 hours were a whirlwind of activity. As news of the signal spread, the scientific community mobilized with unprecedented speed. Observatories around the world turned their attention to the source of the transmission, confirming Elena's discovery. Governments held emergency meetings, and the United Nations convened a special session to address the implications of this monumental event. Elena found herself thrust into the spotlight, fielding questions from reporters and briefing high-ranking officials. "The signal appears to be coming from a star system approximately 40 light-years away," she explained during a press conference. "Its complexity suggests an artificial origin. We are confident that this is an attempt at communication from an extraterrestrial intelligence." As Elena spoke, screens behind her displayed visualizations of the signal's structure. Complex mathematical patterns danced across the displays, hinting at the advanced nature of the civilization that had sent them. "But what does it mean?" a reporter called out. "Are they trying to tell us something specific?" Elena took a deep breath before responding. "That's what we're working to decipher. The message contains what we believe to be a primer, a key to understanding their language and number system. It's similar to approaches we've theorized for communicating with alien life, but far more sophisticated than anything we've devised." As the days passed, the brightest minds on Earth collaborated to unlock the secrets of the alien message. Linguists, mathematicians, and computer scientists worked around the clock, using advanced AI systems to assist in their analysis. 2 weeks after the initial discovery, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, a quantum computing specialist from Japan, recognized a pattern in the signal that corresponded to quantum entanglement principles. This insight proved to be the key to unraveling the alien communication method. With this new understanding, the pace of decryption accelerated rapidly. Within a month, scientists had pieced together the basics of the alien language and the core of their message. "They call themselves the Zoraxians," Elena announced at a UN assembly, her voice steady despite the weight of her words. "They are a spacefaring civilization that has been observing Earth for several of our centuries. They've chosen now to make contact because they believe we've reached a crucial point in our technological development." The assembly hall buzzed with murmurs and exclamations. Elena raised her hand, calling for silence before continuing. "The Zoraxians have extended an invitation. They wish to establish diplomatic relations with Earth and propose a cultural and technological exchange." The news sent shockwaves through human society. Some greeted it with excitement and hope, seeing the potential for unprecedented advancements. Others reacted with fear and suspicion, warning of the dangers of trusting an unknown alien species. Debates raged in government chambers, on news broadcasts, and in homes around the world. How should humanity respond? What were the Zoraxians' true intentions? Could Earth afford to pass up this opportunity, or was it too risky to accept? As the global discussion unfolded, a team of scientists and linguists, led by Elena, worked tirelessly to compose a response to the Zoraxians. They aimed to convey humanity's willingness to engage in peaceful communication, while also expressing caution and a desire to proceed slowly. After much deliberation, a consensus was reached. Humanity would accept the Zoraxians' invitation to talk, but on neutral terms. A proposal was drafted to hold the first face-to-face meeting on the International Space Station, which would be temporarily repurposed as a diplomatic outpost. Elena sat at her desk in Arecibo, staring at the screen that displayed the final draft of Earth's response. Her finger hovered over the send button, the weight of history pressing down on her. With a deep breath, she clicked, transmitting humanity's answer across the vast expanse of space. As the message streaked towards the Zoraxian homeworld, Elena couldn't help but wonder what changes it would bring. Humanity stood on the brink of a new era, one that promised to reshape their understanding of the universe and their place within it. Little did they know, the Zoraxians' invitation was just the beginning. The true test of humanity's ingenuity, resilience, and spirit lay ahead, a cosmic challenge that would push them to their limits and beyond. The Alliance. 6 months after Earth's response, the day of first contact arrived. The International Space Station, now expanded and retrofitted, orbited silently above the planet. Inside, a delegation of Earth's finest diplomats, scientists, and military personnel waited with bated breath. Dr. Elena Reyes stood at a viewport, her dark eyes scanning the star-flecked void. Despite the months of preparation, the reality of meeting an alien species still seemed surreal. Next to her, Major Jack Harper of the United States Space Force shifted uneasily, his hand never far from his sidearm. "Nervous, Major?" Elena asked, a hint of a smile on her lips. Harper's steel-gray eyes met hers. "Cautious, Doctor. We're making history today, but we don't know if it's going to be good history or bad." Before Elena could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. "Unknown object approaching," a voice announced over the intercom. "All personnel to designated positions." Elena and Harper rushed to the main observation deck. Through the reinforced windows, they watched as a sleek, silver craft materialized seemingly out of nowhere. It was unlike any human-made vessel, smooth, almost organic in its design, with no visible propulsion system. "My God," whispered UN Ambassador Lydia Chen, standing beside them. "It's really happening." The alien ship docked with a precision that put human pilots to shame. As the airlock cycled, tension in the room reached a fever pitch. Then, with a soft hiss, the door slid open. The first Zoraxians stepped into view, and a collective gasp rippled through the human delegation. Standing nearly 8 feet tall, the alien had a slender, almost ethereal build. Its skin shimmered with an iridescent quality, shifting colors like oil on water. 4 arms extended from its torso, each ending in long, delicate fingers. But it was the Zoraxian's eyes that captured everyone's attention, large, multifaceted orbs that seemed to take in everything at once. "Greetings, people of Earth," the alien spoke, its voice a melodious trill that somehow formed perfect English. "I am Zaxiliri, emissary of the Zoraxian Conclave. We come in peace and with great hope for our future alliance." Ambassador Chen stepped forward, her voice steady despite her obvious awe. "On behalf of the people of Earth, we welcome you, emissary Zaxiliri. We are honored by your presence and eager to begin our dialogue." As the formal introductions proceeded, Elena found herself in conversation with one of the Zoraxian scientists, Vexara. The alien's knowledge of astrophysics was centuries beyond Earth's current understanding, and Elena struggled to keep up with concepts that challenged the very foundations of human scientific thought. "Your species has progressed remarkably in a short time," Vexara observed. "It is why we chose to make contact now. You stand at a crossroads of great potential." Elena's curiosity got the better of her. "But why us?" Surely there are other, more advanced civilizations out there. Vexara's skin rippled in what Elena guessed was the Zoraxian equivalent of a thoughtful expression. Advanced technology does not always equate to worthwhile allies, Dr. Reyes. We have observed humanity's resilience, your ability to innovate in the face of adversity. These qualities are rare and valuable. As the day wore on, the two species engaged in a carefully choreographed exchange of knowledge and culture. The Zoraxians shared tantalizing glimpses of advanced technologies, clean energy sources, medical breakthroughs, and faster-than-light travel theories. In return, the humans offered insights into their history, art, and the diversity of life on Earth. However, it soon became clear that the Zoraxians' desire for an alliance stemmed from more than mere scientific curiosity. During a private meeting with key Earth officials, Zaxiliary revealed the true reason for their outreach. "There is a grave threat facing our galaxy," the emissary explained, its color dimming to a somber blue. "A species we call the Void Horde has been systematically destroying or enslaving civilizations on the Outer Rim. They are driven by a singular purpose, the consumption of all sentient life and resources." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. Ambassador Chen was the first to speak. "And you believe Earth could help in fighting this threat?" Zaxiliary's eyes shimmered. "We believe that together, our species stand a better chance than either would alone. The Void Horde's strength lies in their ability to overwhelm through sheer numbers and brutality. But they lack creativity, adaptability, qualities that humanity possesses in abundance." Major Harper leaned forward, his military mind already assessing strategies. "What kind of time frame are we looking at? How immediate is this threat?" "At their current rate of expansion, the Void Horde will reach Zoraxian space within 5 of your Earth years," Zaxiliary replied. "Your solar system would follow within a decade." The revelation sent shockwaves through Earth's governments. Emergency sessions were held, debates raged, and the planet's population grappled with the idea that they were not only not alone in the universe, but also facing an existential threat from the stars. In the end, the decision was made. Earth would join the alliance with the Zoraxians. It was a choice born of necessity, hope, and the intrinsic human drive to face challenges head-on. The next few months saw an unprecedented era of cooperation and advancement. Zoraxian scientists and engineers began working alongside their human counterparts, sharing knowledge and technology at a carefully measured pace to avoid overwhelming Earth's infrastructure and economy. Elena found herself at the forefront of this exchange, working tirelessly to bridge the gap between human and Zoraxian scientific understanding. The breakthroughs came fast and furious. Quantum computing took a leap forward, clean energy solutions began to replace fossil fuels, and the first tentative steps towards faster-than-light travel were taken. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Cultural misunderstandings led to tensions, and some humans grew suspicious of the rapid changes. Protest movements sprang up, decrying the alien influence and calling for isolation. As Elena worked late one night in a newly established joint research facility, she received an urgent message from Vexara. "Dr. Reyes, we've detected unusual activity at the edge of your solar system. It appears the Void Horde has become aware of our alliance. They're coming, and they're coming much sooner than we anticipated." Elena's blood ran cold as she realized the true test of humanity's resolve and ingenuity was about to begin. The future of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy now hung in the balance, and time was running out. Technological exchange. The news of the Void Horde's approach sent shockwaves through both human and Zoraxian communities. With the threat looming closer than anticipated, the Alliance kicked into high gear, accelerating their technological exchange and defense preparations. Dr. Elena Reyes found herself at the heart of this whirlwind of innovation. The joint research facility, dubbed Nexus, became a 24/7 hive of activity. Human and Zoraxian scientists worked side by side, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. One morning, as Elena entered the Nexus's main lab, she was greeted by an excited Vexara. The Zoraxian's skin pulsed with vibrant hues of green and gold, a sign Elena had learned to associate with breakthrough moments. Dr. Reyes, we've made significant progress on the quantum shield technology, but we've hit a roadblock with the power source. Elena reviewed the holographic schematics floating before them. The quantum shield was a revolutionary defense system that could theoretically protect entire planets from energy-based weapons. However, the power requirements were astronomical. What if we approach this from a different angle? Elena mused, her mind racing. Instead of trying to generate all that power, what if we found a way to amplify a smaller energy source? Vexara's eyes shimmered with interest. Intriguing. Please, elaborate. Over the next few hours, Elena explained her theory, drawing on Earth's experiments with zero-point energy and the Zoraxians' advanced understanding of quantum mechanics. It was a long shot, but if it worked, it could be the key to making the shield viable. As days turned into weeks, similar scenes played out across the globe. In a repurposed automotive plant in Detroit, engineers worked to adapt Zoraxian propulsion technology for mass production. The goal was to create a fleet of small, agile spacecraft that could serve as a first line of defense against the Void Horde. In Bangalore, a team of human programmers collaborated with Zoraxian AI specialists to develop a predictive algorithm for Void Horde attack patterns. The system would use machine learning to analyze vast amounts of data from previous encounters, providing crucial strategic advantages. Meanwhile, in a secret facility beneath the Sahara Desert, Major Jack Harper oversaw the development of a new type of weapon. Based on Zoraxian energy manipulation techniques and human innovations in plasma physics, the Nova Cannon promised to deliver unprecedented destructive power against Void Horde ships. But it wasn't just military technology that saw advancements. The Alliance recognized that to face the coming threat, they needed to strengthen Earth's infrastructure and resource management. In Brazil, vast swaths of the Amazon that had been lost to deforestation were being rapidly regrown using a combination of Zoraxian bioengineering and human botanical knowledge. The new forests grew at 10 times the normal rate, absorbing carbon dioxide and producing oxygen at unprecedented levels. Desalination plants, powered by miniature fusion reactors, sprang up along coastlines worldwide, solving water scarcity issues that had plagued humanity for centuries. And in orbit, the first sections of a massive space elevator were being constructed, promising to revolutionize humanity's access to space. However, as Earth underwent this rapid transformation, not everyone was celebrating. Protests erupted in major cities, with some fearing that humanity was losing its identity in the rush to adopt alien technology. Conspiracy theories spread like wildfire, claiming that the Void Horde was a Zoraxian invention designed to subjugate Earth. Elena found herself thrust into the role of public spokesperson, trying to bridge the gap between the scientific community and the general public. She appeared on news broadcasts, explaining the advancements in layman's terms and emphasizing the collaborative nature of the work. This isn't about replacing human innovation, she stressed during one particularly heated debate. It's about combining the best of both our species. The Zoraxians aren't doing this for us, we're doing it together. As if to prove her point, a major breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Dr. Ayush Patel, a young physicist from Mumbai, made a crucial observation about the quantum shield's energy distribution that had eluded both human and Zoraxian scientists. His insight, combined with Elena's amplification theory and Zoraxian quantum tech, finally solved the power problem. The first successful test of the planetary shield, conducted over a remote area of the Pacific Ocean, was a moment of triumph. As the shimmer of the energy field rippled across the sky, visible even from space, cheers erupted in control rooms around the world. But the celebration was short-lived. Just as the test concluded, alarm sirens blared through the Nexus facility. Elena rushed to the command center, where she found Vexara and Major Harper already gathered around a holographic display. "We've detected a Void Horde scout ship at the edge of the solar system," Harper reported grimly. It appeared suddenly, observed for approximately 3 minutes, then vanished, likely using some form of cloaking technology we haven't encountered before. Vexara's skin had turned a deep, worried purple. This is unprecedented. They've never sent scouts this far ahead of their main fleet before. They must know about our alliance and are assessing our defenses. Elena felt a chill run down her spine. How long do we have? Harper's jaw clenched. Based on previous patterns and this new development, best estimate, 3 months before the main invasion force arrives. The room fell silent as the weight of the situation sank in. They had made incredible progress, but was it enough? Would the fusion of human ingenuity and Xeraxian technology be sufficient to stand against the coming storm? As Elena looked around at the determined faces of her human and Xeraxian colleagues, she realized that regardless of the outcome, this alliance had already achieved something remarkable. In the face of an existential threat, they had come together, pushing the boundaries of science and understanding. "Well," she said, breaking the silence, "we've got work to do. Let's show the Void Horde what happens when they pick a fight with Earth and Zorax." With renewed determination, the Alliance braced itself for the greatest challenge in the history of both their species. The next 3 months would determine the fate not just of Earth or the Zoraxians, but of all sentient life in the galaxy. The stage was set for a confrontation that would test the limits of their technological achievements and the strength of their newfound unity. Rising tensions. As the countdown to the Void Horde's arrival ticked relentlessly onward, the initial surge of unity between humans and Xeraxians began to show signs of strain. The pressure of the looming threat, combined with cultural misunderstandings and differing problem-solving approaches, led to increasing friction within the alliance. At the Nexus facility, Elena found herself mediating more disputes than coordinating research. One particularly heated argument broke out over the implementation of the quantum shield technology. "Your approach is too cautious," Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the quantum computing specialist, shouted at Vexara. "We need to roll out the shield globally now. Every day we delay puts Earth at risk." Vexara's skin flickered with irritation, a kaleidoscope of reds and oranges, and a premature implementation could destabilize your planet's magnetic field. "We must be certain." Elena stepped between them, her voice calm but firm. "We're all working towards the same goal here. Dr. Tanaka, I understand your urgency, but Vexara's caution is warranted. Let's focus on solving the stability issues rather than arguing about timelines." The tension in the room eased slightly, but Elena could see that this was just one symptom of a larger problem. The alliance was under immense stress, and cracks were beginning to show. Similar scenes played out across the globe. In military installations, human commanders chafed at what they perceived as Xeraxian reticence to share certain weapons technologies. The Xeraxians, in turn, grew frustrated with what they saw as human recklessness and a tendency to prioritize offensive capabilities over defense. Major Jack Harper found himself caught in the middle of one such dispute at the Nova Cannon testing facility in the Sahara. "With all due respect, Ambassador," he addressed Zaxxiliri, trying to keep his tone neutral, "we need to know the full capabilities of the weapon we're building. How can we effectively strategize if we're working with incomplete information?" Zaxxiliri's multifaceted eyes seemed to shimmer with concern. "Major Harper, you must understand. Some technologies, if misused, could pose as great a threat as the Void Horde themselves. We must be cautious in how we share our knowledge." Harper's frustration was palpable. And if that caution costs us the war, what then? The dispute remained unresolved, adding to the growing list of tensions between the allies. Meanwhile, public opinion on Earth continued to be divided. While many embraced the technological advancements and the promise of a united front against the cosmic threat, others grew increasingly suspicious of the Xeraxian influence. Protest movements gained momentum, with slogans like "Earth for Humans" and "Resist Alien Oversight" becoming commonplace in cities around the world. Conspiracy theories flourished in the darker corners of the internet, some even suggesting that the entire Void Horde threat was a Xeraxian fabrication designed to subjugate humanity. Elena found herself once again thrust into the public eye, trying to quell fears and promote unity. During a global broadcast, she addressed some of the concerns head-on. "I understand the fear," she said, her gaze steady as she looked into the camera. "We're facing something unprecedented, and change is never easy. But I've worked alongside the Xeraxians. I've seen their commitment to our alliance, their willingness to share knowledge that could have kept them dominant. They're risking everything to stand with us against this threat." Her words seemed to resonate with many, but the undercurrent of distrust persisted. As if the situation wasn't tense enough, a new complication arose. During a routine scan of the outer solar system, an anomaly was detected on Pluto's moon Charon. Elena joined a team of human and Xeraxian scientists to investigate. What they found sent shockwaves through the Alliance. Hidden beneath the icy surface of Charon was an ancient structure, clearly of artificial origin, but belonging to neither humans nor Xeraxians. "It appears to be some kind of monitoring station," Vexara explained as they examined the holographic renderings of the structure. "But its age, it predates our civilization by millennia." The discovery raised troubling questions. Had Earth been under observation for far longer than anyone had realized? Could this ancient technology be related to the Void Horde? Or was it evidence of yet another unknown player in the cosmic drama unfolding around them? As teams worked to unlock the secrets of the Charon structure, the tension between humans and Xeraxians reached a boiling point. A leaked document, purportedly from high-level Xeraxian communications, suggested that they had known about the structure all along and had withheld the information from their human allies. The backlash was immediate and severe. Protests turned into riots in some cities, and several governments threatened to pull out of the alliance altogether. In an emergency meeting of alliance leaders, accusations flew back and forth. Elena watched in dismay as months of cooperation threatened to unravel in a matter of hours. "Enough," she finally shouted, silencing the room. All eyes turned to her, human and Xeraxian alike. "Look at us," she continued, her voice quivering with emotion. "Fighting amongst ourselves while an existential threat bears down on us. Yes, there have been mistakes. Yes, there's still mistrust. But we don't have the luxury of division right now." She took a deep breath before continuing. "The Charon structure changes things. It proves that there's more going on in our galaxy than any of us fully understand. But it doesn't change the fact that we need each other. Humans, Xeraxians, we each bring something unique to this fight. Together, we might just have a chance. Divided, we've already lost." Her words hung in the air, their impact visible on the faces of those assembled. Slowly, the anger began to dissipate, replaced by a grim determination. Zaxiliri stepped forward, its skin a somber blue. "Dr. Reyes speaks wisdom. We have not been perfect allies, but our intention has always been the preservation of both our species. Perhaps it is time for full transparency between us." The Xeraxian emissary then revealed information that they had thus far kept secret, the true extent of the Void Horde's destructive capability, and the real reason they had sought an alliance with humanity. It wasn't just Earth and Xurax at stake. The entire galaxy stood on the brink of annihilation. As the full scale of the threat became clear, a renewed sense of purpose swept through the alliance. The petty disagreements and cultural misunderstandings that had seemed so important moments ago now felt trivial in comparison to the cosmic horror they faced. With just weeks remaining before the anticipated arrival of the Void Horde's main fleet, humanity and the Xeraxians recommitted to their partnership. But the question remained: would this newfound unity be enough to face the coming storm? As the meeting adjourned, Elena caught Major Harper's eye across the room. His nod of acknowledgement spoke volumes. Whatever their differences, whatever challenges lay ahead, they were in this together now. The fate of two worlds, and perhaps the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. The cosmic challenge. The day humanity had both dreaded and prepared for finally arrived. On a crisp autumn morning, Alarms blared across every continent as the Void Horde's massive fleet materialized at the edge of the solar system. The sight was terrifying. Thousands of obsidian ships, each the size of a small moon, their surfaces seeming to absorb light rather than reflect it. In the Nexus Command Center, Dr. Elena Reyes stood shoulder to shoulder with Vexara, Major Harper, and a mix of human and Zoraxian leaders. The tension in the room was palpable as they watched the holographic display of the approaching Almeida. "It's time," Elena said, her voice steady despite the fear coursing through her. "Initiate Operation Aegis." With those words, humanity's defenses sprang to life. The quantum shield, now successfully implemented on a global scale, shimmered into existence around Earth. In orbit, a fleet of hybrid human Zoraxian ships took up defensive positions, their crews a mix of both species working in unprecedented harmony. As the Void Horde approached, they unleashed their first assault, a barrage of energy weapons that lit up the space around Earth like a second sun. The quantum shield held, dispersing the energy across its surface in a dazzling display of light and color. "Shield integrity at 92%, reported a technician. "It's working." A cheer went up in the command center, but it was short-lived. The Void Horde's attack was relentless, waves of smaller ships breaking off from the main fleet to probe for weaknesses in Earth's defenses. Major Harper coordinated the counter-offensive, his voice calm and authoritative as he directed the Allied fleet. "Nova cannon units, target the lead ships. Fighter squadrons, engage the scout vessels. Remember your training, they may have numbers, but we have ingenuity on our side." The battle raged for hours, the void of space lit up by weapons fire and explosions. The Allied forces fought valiantly, their hybrid technology proving effective against the Void Horde's onslaught. But the enemy's numbers seemed endless, and slowly but surely, they began to gain ground. As the quantum shield's power levels dropped to critical levels, Elena and Vexara worked frantically to find a solution. They pored over data from the Charon structure, hoping to find some clue, some ancient wisdom that might turn the tide. "Wait," Elena said suddenly, her eyes widening as she noticed a pattern in the ancient data. "Vexara, look at this energy signature. Doesn't it remind you of something?" The Zoraxian scientist's skin pulsed with excitement. The Void Horde ships, their energy absorption properties, it's the same principle, but inverted. Working at lightning speed, they developed a theory. If they could reverse the polarity of the quantum shield and synchronize it with the Nova cannons, they might be able to create a feedback loop that would overload the Void Horde's systems. It was a desperate gamble, but with the shield failing and the enemy closing in, they had no choice. Elena presented the plan to the Alliance leadership, her words rushed but clear. "It's risky," Major Harper said, his face grim. "If it fails, we'll be left completely exposed." Zaxlery, who had been silent until now, spoke up. "And if we do nothing, we are doomed regardless. I say we proceed." With the decision made, Elena and Vexara raced against time to implement their plan. As they worked, reports came in of Void Horde ships breaking through the defensive line, heading for Earth's atmosphere. "We're out of time," Harper's voice crackled over the comm. "It's now or never." Elena took a deep breath, her finger hovering over the activation switch. "Here goes everything," she muttered and pressed the button. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then suddenly, the quantum shield pulsed, sending out a wave of energy that engulfed the entire solar system. The Nova cannons fired in perfect synchronization, their beams intersecting with the shield's energy. The effect was immediate and spectacular. Void Horde ships began to falter, their energy-absorbing hulls overloading from the unexpected reversal. Explosions blossomed across space as ship after ship succumbed to the feedback loop. In the command center, cheers erupted as they watched the enemy fleet crumble, but their jubilation was cut short as alarms began to blare. "The feedback loop," Vexara cried out. "It's growing unstable. If we don't shut it down, It could tear apart the fabric of space-time itself. Elena's mind raced. Shutting down the system now would leave them vulnerable to any surviving Void Horde ships. But letting it continue could result in a catastrophe beyond imagination. As she grappled with the impossible decision, a new alert caught her attention. The Charon's structure had activated, sending out a pulse of energy that seemed to stabilize the feedback loop. It's containing the reaction, Elena said in awe. It's creating a controlled rift in space-time. Before their eyes, a swirling vortex formed in the space where the Void Horde fleet had been. The remaining enemy ships were pulled in, vanishing from sensors. As quickly as it had appeared, the rift closed, leaving behind an eerie calm. The solar system was clear of Void Horde ships, and the feedback loop had been contained. In the stunned silence that followed, Elena and her team tried to process what had just happened. They had won, but at what cost? And what exactly had the Charon structure done? As the adrenaline of battle faded, new questions arose. The Void Horde had been defeated, but where had they gone? What other secrets did the Charon structure hold? And how would this victory change the relationship between humanity and the Zoraxians? Elena looked around at her human and alien colleagues, seeing the same mix of relief, exhaustion, and uncertainty on all their faces. They had faced the cosmic challenge together and emerged victorious. But as the first reports of the battle's aftermath began to come in, she realized that their journey was far from over. The defeat of the Void Horde wasn't an end, but a beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. And whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as they had faced this one, with courage, ingenuity, and the strength of unity. Triumph of humanity. In the days following the decisive battle against the Void Horde, Earth buzzed with a mixture of celebration and trepidation. The immediate threat had been vanquished, but the implications of what had transpired were only beginning to sink in. Dr. Elena Reyes found herself at the center of a whirlwind of activity. Between debriefings, press conferences, and continued research, she barely had time to process the monumental events she had been part of. 2 weeks after the battle, Elena stood before a joint session of the United Nations, tasked with explaining to the world what had happened and what it meant for humanity's future. As she approached the podium, she took a deep breath, acutely aware of the billions watching around the globe and across the stars. Distinguished delegates, citizens of Earth, and our Zoraxian allies, she began, her voice steady. We stand at a pivotal moment in our shared history. The threat of the Void Horde brought us to the brink of annihilation, but it also propelled us into a new era of innovation, cooperation, and understanding. She went on to explain the intricacies of the battle, the last-minute gamble with the quantum shield, and the mysterious intervention of the Charon structure. As she spoke, holographic displays behind her showed visualizations of the events, helping the audience grasp the scale of what had occurred. But our victory, she continued, was not just a triumph of technology. It was a triumph of the human spirit, our creativity, our adaptability, our unwavering determination in the face of overwhelming odds. These are the qualities that drew the Zoraxians to us, and these are the qualities that will guide us as we step into a larger cosmic community. Elena's words resonated across the planet. The fear and suspicion that had plagued the human-Zoraxian alliance began to give way to a sense of shared accomplishment and hope for the future. In the weeks that followed, research teams focused their efforts on understanding the Charon structure and the rift it had created. Elena and Vexara led a joint human-Zoraxian expedition to the distant moon, setting up a permanent research base to study the ancient technology. Their findings were nothing short of revolutionary. The structure was indeed a monitoring station, but it was also much more. It was part of a vast network of similar installations scattered throughout the galaxy, created by an ancient civilization that had long since vanished. It's like they left behind a safety net for younger species, Elena explained during a briefing with Major Harper and Zaxillary. The rift didn't destroy the Void Horde, it transported them to a containment dimension. They're essentially in a cosmic timeout. Harper raised an eyebrow. So they could come back. Theoretically, Vexara interjected, its skin a thoughtful blue. But the containment dimension exists outside of normal space-time. By the time they find a way out, our civilizations will have advanced far beyond their threat level. The implications of this discovery were staggering. Not only had humanity and the Zaraxians gained access to technology beyond their wildest dreams, but they had also stumbled upon proof that they were part of a grand cosmic design. As the research continued, Earth underwent a renaissance. The technological leaps made during the preparation for war were now applied to peacetime pursuits. Clean energy became the global standard, climate change was reversed, and diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia were eradicated. The space elevator, completed in record time, opened up the solar system for exploration and colonization. Within a year, the first human settlements were established on Mars and the moons of Jupiter, with Zaraxian scientists and engineers working alongside their human counterparts. But perhaps the most profound change was in humanity's collective mindset. The knowledge that they were not alone in the universe, and that they had played a crucial role in defending it, instilled a new sense of purpose and unity. 5 years after the battle, Elena stood on the observation deck of Nexus Station, a massive space habitat orbiting Earth. Beside her were Vexara, Major Harper, and Zaxiliri, all gazing out at the bustling activity around them. Ships of human, Zaraxian, and hybrid design zipped back and forth, ferrying people and supplies between Earth, the Moon, and beyond. In the distance, the glint of the Mars colony was visible, a testament to how far they had come. "You know," Elena said, breaking the contemplative silence, "when I first decoded that signal from the Zaraxians, I never imagined it would lead to this." Harper chuckled. "I was ready to shoot anything that came through that airlock. Now look at us." Zaxiliri's skin rippled with amusement, "And I feared we might be making a grave mistake in contacting such a young species. I have never been so glad to be wrong." Vexara turned to Elena, its multifaceted eyes shimmering. "What you said in your speech was true, Elena. It was the human spirit that made all this possible. Your species' ability to unite in the face of adversity, to innovate when all seems lost, it's truly remarkable." Elena smiled, feeling a swell of pride, not just for humanity, but for the alliance they had forged. "We all played our part, and this is just the beginning." As if on cue, an alert chimed softly. A holographic display sprang to life, showing a star map of the galaxy. A new signal had been detected, coming from a distant star cluster. The four of them exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and apprehension in their eyes. The Void Horde had been contained, but the galaxy was vast, filled with unknown wonders and potential threats. Yet as Elena looked at her companions, human and Zaraxian alike, she felt a surge of confidence. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Humanity had proven its worth among the stars, not through dominance or conquest, but through resilience, ingenuity, and the power of cooperation. As they prepared to answer this new cosmic call, Elena knew that the true triumph of humanity was not in victory over an enemy, but in the bridges they had built and the future they were forging. The story of humanity among the stars was just beginning, and the next chapter promised to be the most exciting yet.